It's funny that most uncles and aunts and sometimes grandparents and even parents, they have a favorite in the family, a favorite son or daughter or nephew or niece or something, right? And it's very funny, like it's very interesting. I feel like it's common. It's common, it happens, it's all right. And I was very fortunate that my parents did not show any difference that I'm aware of. But we had an aunt, she lived next door to us. And she could not even hide it a tiny bit that she preferred my sister. It was very clear. We even laughed about it as a kid, like as kids, we laughed at it because it was ridiculous, like how much the difference was and how she couldn't hide it. Even after I moved to the US, I was a teenager and she would call me up for my birthday and she was like, "Hey, happy birthday, how are you?" And I would say, "Good, how are you?" And she's like, "Good, and she would ask about my sister like right away, calling me about my birthday. We hadn't talked for a long time, and within 10 seconds, she's already asking about my sister. We always joked about it, and it was funny. But in a way, as a kid, that can be painful. That can be very painful if it's coming from a person that you deeply love and appreciate. And I feel for the people that feel that from their parents. I was lucky to not feel that, but it must be very painful, very challenging to go through that. And then one thing that happens on the spiritual journey is that we tend to, a lot of things, sometimes, not everything, but many things seems to go somewhere else, right? You want to transcend, people talk about astral projection and even doing like visualizations and doing things that kind of take you away from yourself. Even though we talk about spirituality is about going in, sometimes we forget that, and it's okay. It's okay. But I want you to consider the possibility that with all those things in the spiritual journey, how your inner child can see spirituality as the sibling that gets all your attention. You are now the parent to your inner child. You are the conscious parent to your inner child. And your inner child is seeing spirituality as your favorite sibling. That was a little painful for me when I realized it. And it's okay, sometimes we need a little wake-up call. That's all right. And it might not have been for you that way. That's how it was for me. I was so curious about it because it's beautiful. All the things in the spiritual journey are so beautiful and exciting, and I was very curious about all of it. So of course I wanted to try everything, go everywhere, and just like experience all of that. But at one point I forgot to go in. And that will make the inner child maybe a little angry. It will develop some resentment or jealousy or whatever you want to label it as. But I think it's like if the inner child will feel like if spirituality is more worthy of your attention than it is. And if we're trying to heal our relationship with our inner child, if we're trying to rebuild that relationship and connect at a deeper level and regain its trust, can we find the balance? I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do, how much of one thing or the other. I'm just asking if for you can find the balance that feels good to you. To still daily, and yes, daily connect with your inner child. we don't like the word daily because sometimes commitment and consistency is not that easy for us. But can you find that balance of not forgetting your inner child, of still connecting to it, still talking to it? So what if we can regain that trust and not have the inner child feel like the spiritual journey is your favorite sibling? So what I invite you to do after this video is to sit for at least just 5 or 10 minutes, eyes closed or eyes open, and just sit and just talk. Whatever came up for you based on what I just shared, just talk to your inner child. You can apologize, that's what I did. And I'll talk more about that in the upcoming videos. But you can apologize and say, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry that I ignored you for so long. I'm sorry that I made you feel like you were not as important as you are to me. I'm sorry that just now I'm even realizing how important our connection is and our relationship is. It's okay to be honest, fully honest. That's what your inner child wants. Radical honesty from you. Because he knows what's going on. You can't fool your inner child. You can't fool him or her. You can't. So apologize at a very, very authentic, honest level for at least 5 or 10 minutes. Get in your favorite meditation position or wherever you are, just sit somewhere and connect. Maybe apologize if you feel like that's right for you, if that resonates. You can share your feelings and see what comes up. So I just invite you to try that. A lot more below. I hope that helps. I'll see you soon.